Days of Our Lives Thursday promised to deliver dramatic twists and emotional revelations, creating chaos, heartbreak, and excitement throughout Salem. On Wednesday, tensions reach new heights when Joy Wesley prepares to share news that could drastically change the lives of Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis. Stephanie has already been uneasy about Joy's possible pregnancy, anxiously awaiting the test results. When Joy announces her update, the timing couldn't be worse, interrupting a delicate moment between Stephanie and Alex. Stephanie's heart sinks as the news unfolds, leaving Alex speechless and confused. As soap opera fans know, dramatic pregnancy announcements often come at the most inconvenient moments, and this one promises to be no different, bringing emotional upheaval and complicated feelings to the forefront. Stephanie is torn between supporting her friend and processing her own conflicted emotions, while Alex struggles to accept what this means for his future. Meanwhile, across Salem, Sarah Horton is overwhelmed with worry about Philip Kyriakis and Xander Cook's latest mysterious activities. In search of comfort and guidance, Sarah seeks out Maggie Horton Kyriakis. Maggie's wise words and comforting presence provide Sarah a much-needed sense of calm. Yet, her worries aren't unfounded. Philip and Xander are quietly plotting behind the scenes, crafting ambitious plans involving DiMera Enterprises. Their alliance with the enigmatic Weigh-In is intended to culminate in a dramatic DEA-related takeover, a plan ripe with risk and potential consequences. Xander, typically impulsive, begins to question the wisdom of their actions, while Philip insists that the risk is justified by the potential reward. As the duo moves forward, the stage is set for corporate espionage, betrayal, and possibly devastating outcomes that could ripple through all of Salem, threatening both their personal and professional lives. Romance also blooms amid the turmoil, as Chad DiMera continues growing closer to the captivating Kat Green. Their relationship, while still new, is gaining momentum, creating sparks that neither can ignore. Chad's affection for Kat deepens each day, helping him heal from past traumas and move toward genuine happiness. As they deepen their connection, Chad finds himself conflicted, balancing excitement for the future against the shadows of his complicated past. Kat, meanwhile, feels an undeniable connection to Chad but senses his lingering emotional wounds, leading her to tread carefully as their bond strengthens. Viewers can expect emotional vulnerability and romantic tension, bringing new life to Chad's storyline and a refreshing dynamic that could redefine his future. Elsewhere, Leo Stark faces an intriguing situation when Javi Hernandez offers him some advice. Leo isn't typically one to follow suggestions blindly, often preferring his own instinct and cunning. However, Javi's hint may open Leo's eyes to opportunities or threats he hadn't previously considered. As Leo deliberates, his decision-making process promises to entertain and intrigue fans who know his unpredictable nature all too well. Leo wrestles with his pride and ego, questioning whether he should heed the advice or stubbornly forge ahead alone, risking more than he realizes. Thursday ramps up the drama even further when Johnny DiMera unleashes harsh truths toward his father, E.J. DiMera. Johnny, frustrated by swirling accusations about E.J.'s possible involvement with the notorious Arnold, confronts his father head-on. Though E.J. firmly denies any wrongdoing, the father-son relationship is undeniably strained. Johnny's accusations, mixed with E.J.'s mounting defensiveness, leave family loyalties frayed and raise questions about trust, legacy, and honor within the DiMera household. The exchange escalates rapidly, threatening to permanently damage their fragile bond. This heated exchange could have lasting repercussions for their future interactions and could significantly impact E.J.'s standing in both his family and Salem's elite circles. Amidst familial chaos, Paulina Price attempts to heal old wounds by sincerely apologizing to her daughter, Chanel Dupree. Paulina's heartfelt apology reflects genuine remorse and her desire to mend their fractured relationship. Chanel, however, is torn between embracing forgiveness and remaining guarded after past betrayals. Their emotional interaction highlights the complex nature of familial love, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Chanel's heart yearns to trust her mother again, but lingering fears hold her back, creating a poignant and relatable struggle that viewers will deeply feel. The tension intensifies when Marlena Evans devises a daring plan to address John Black's mysterious disappearance. Marlena confides in her daughter, Belle Brady, who struggles with the idea of sitting back passively. Belle, desperate for answers and action, finds herself torn between her mother's wisdom and her own impulsive desire to intervene. Adding another layer of complexity, Marlena becomes increasingly distressed about John Black's absence and Shane Donovan's sudden avoidance of her calls. Driven by determination, Marina announces her decision to head to Washington, D.C. to confront Shane directly. Steve Johnson, loyal as ever, insists on accompanying her. The duo's impending journey promises suspense, potential revelations, and critical answers that could finally unravel the long-standing mysteries that have kept Salem on edge. Next, in the heart of Salem's bustling Horton Square, a tense confrontation erupted, reminding everyone just how tangled and explosive things can become when personal relationships intersect with professional duties. Mayor Paulina Price stood, tapping her foot impatiently, as District Attorney Belle Black Brady remained distracted, her eyes locked onto her phone screen. Paulina cleared her throat sharply. "You know, Belle, if I didn't know better, I'd think my DA was getting bored with our city's troubles." Belle glanced up quickly, embarrassment flickering across her face. "I'm so sorry, Paulina," she said softly. "I was just checking the group text about my father. You know, we've all been worried about him." Instantly regretful, Paulina softened her tone, placing a reassuring hand on Belle's arm. "Oh, sweetheart, of course, family always comes first. We can do this another time." But their moment of understanding was shattered by the clicking heels and assertive voice of Gabby Hernandez, storming toward them with a fiery determination. "Not so fast, ladies," Gabby snapped, eyes blazing. "I want answers." Belle and Paulina exchanged wary looks, clearly anticipating the storm that was about to erupt. "Answers about what, exactly?" Paulina asked cautiously. "About E.J. DiMera, of course," Gabby exclaimed, clearly frustrated. "When are you going to finally do your job, Belle, and lock him up? Or are you too busy cozying up to suspects to care about justice?" Belle recoiled slightly, caught off guard by Gabby's aggressive accusation. Paulina stepped forward defensively. "Now, hold on, Gabby. That's completely out of line. Belle is a professional. Professional?" Gabby laughed bitterly. "You think it's professional to be involved romantically with the person she's supposed to prosecute?" She turned sharply toward Paulina, whose eyes widened in shock. "Didn't your DA here tell you she's sleeping with our number one suspect?" Belle, speechless and mortified, struggled to find words. Paulina's expression quickly shifted from shock to stern authority. "Belle, is this true?" Belle hesitated briefly before replying honestly. "We were briefly involved, yes, but, briefly involved?" Gabby mocked, rolling her eyes dramatically. "Oh, please. You're still emotionally tangled up in this, and everyone in Salem knows it. How can anyone trust your judgment on this case?" Paulina raised her hand calmly, attempting to restore some order. "Belle, as much as it pains me to say this, perhaps Gabby has a point. Maybe it's best if someone else takes over this investigation." Belle, regaining her composure, quickly stepped forward. Her voice was firm, filled with renewed determination. "Paulina, please. Listen to me. E.J. DiMera is ruthless. He's cunning, experienced, and if we put anyone else on this, he'll slip through our fingers. I've worked cases like this before. I know E.J. inside and out. No one else in Salem understands him as I do. My past with him doesn't weaken me, it strengthens my ability to predict his moves." Paulina considered Belle's passionate plea thoughtfully, visibly torn between public duty and personal loyalties. Gabby scoffed loudly, interrupting again. "Predict his moves? or protect his interests. You're fooling no one, Belle. That's enough, Gabby, Paulina finally snapped. Her voice resonated with authority, silencing Gabby momentarily. Belle, you've put me in an incredibly awkward position here. I trust your abilities, but perception matters. Salem expects impartiality from our DA. And they'll have it, Belle reassured urgently. Paulina, you appointed me because you believed I could handle the toughest situations. EJ's case is exactly that kind of challenge. You have my word, I will bring justice, without bias. Paulina drew a deep breath, considering the stakes carefully. She could sense the sincerity in Belle's voice and knew the depth of her conviction. After a long pause, she nodded decisively. Fine, Belle. You handle this. But know that the entire town will be watching closely, including me. You're on thin ice. Gabby, furious and feeling betrayed by Paulina's decision, glared at both women. Well, it seems the corruption runs deeper than I thought, she spat bitterly. Is this about Chanel and Johnny? Are you protecting EJ because of family ties now, Paulina? Gabby, watch yourself, Paulina warned sharply, her patience running thin. But Gabby was already turning away, fury etched clearly on her face. Forget it. If you two won't handle EJ, I will. And I promise you, justice will be served, one way or another. As Gabby stormed away, leaving tension thick in her wake, Belle turned apologetically to Paulina. I'm sorry you had to hear it like this, she said quietly. Paulina offered a stern, yet understanding look. Don't apologize, Belle. Just make sure you're right about EJ. Because if you're not, both of our careers, and your integrity, will pay the price. Belle watched Paulina walk away, her heart pounding as the gravity of the situation sank in. This wasn't just about prosecuting EJ DiMera, it was about salvaging her reputation, safeguarding justice, and proving to all of Salem that her loyalty belonged solely to truth. And as Belle stood there, alone amidst the bustling square, she knew the battle ahead would demand everything she had, and more.